more people Google Starbucks near me than coffee shop near me. Why? Right? It's not because they just want coffee. It's because they want Starbucks coffee, right? And so it's the same thing. We want to get to the point with our studios, where we're there with many of them, where they have more organic leads coming in than the paid leads. And that is something that you can scale at a high level, because now it's just adding fuel to the fire, as opposed to constantly recycling, right? Like shoveling the snow while it's still snowing, if you're just doing lead gen campaigns without any real branding along the way.
How's it going, everyone? Welcome to the Fitness Founders Podcast. I'm Kevin Mannion, VP Marketing here at Glofox. This week we talked to Mike Arce, one of the biggest names in fitness marketing at the moment. He's the CEO of LoudRumor, a fitness marketing agency that works with over 1,300 boutique fitness studios around the US. In this episode, he takes me through how to build paid social media campaigns that work and what you need to do to create a high-performing sales team. He's got a lot to say, so let's get started. Mike, welcome to the show.
Thank you, man. Glad to be on.
Great to have you here. Maybe let's kick off. Tell me just a little bit about yourself and what you do at LoudRumor.
Yeah, so today I run an awesome company called LoudRumor, and what we've created and are continuing to create is what we believe to be the best resources for fitness studios throughout the entire world. So publicly, we're most known for our agency side. That's where we've run successful ad campaigns for over 1,400 fitness studios throughout the world in the last few years. But those that actually work with us, they find a tremendous amount of value in all the other stuff that we provide, the podcasts, the conferences, the community, our university and learning platform, where we train not only the studio owners, but also their employees on how to run a successful studio in all the areas, not just marketing. And this information is not only taught by me and members of my team, but we actually fly out other successful studio owners from all over the country to come and teach how they've grown their studio so easily and so quickly in certain areas. Maybe they're really great at referrals or testimonial videos or upselling. All that stuff. So it's really just awesome collection of resources and information that and support. If you need to grow your studio, this is it. It's all in one shot.
Maybe tell me a little bit about your own business journey. What did you do before LoudRumor?
So I had 22 jobs before I was 24. A lot of it was in the fitness industry. I actually was in the fitness industry for 7 years. I even owned a personal training company for quite a few years. You know, most of my work in a 7-year period was me basically being recruited to like LA Fitness and going to different LA Fitness clubs that were struggling. And, my goal and my objective was to take clubs that were like ranked 14th or 16th in the state and bring them to top 4. And then I would move to different clubs. And then I got recruited over to Pure Fitness and then Fitness One. And then I started my own company at Gold's Gym, and it was called Advanced Body Image. And so I did that for a little while. And then, got out of that. I had a kid and I bounced from job to job thinking, I wanted to find more of like a 9-to-5 type deal, and, just bounced a lot and started my own company out of necessity. It was a marketing company. And about 3 years ago, a little more than 3 years ago, early 2016, we started working with a fitness studio and we crushed it for them. And in a lot of ways, not just in marketing, but being able to help them with sales and all the stuff they needed to do, because they were fairly young, so they didn't really understand the industry as well as they probably wish they did. And that's when we just realized, man, I have a lot of experience in, fitness that I wasn't utilizing, I wasn't helping anybody with. And so we married those two things together, the agency and fitness. And that's now, took us 42 clients. We only got 42 clients in the 6 years I had the agency that was a general agency. And in the last 3 years, half the time, instead of getting 42, we got over 1,400 clients. So, once you find something that you're really good at and you love, it's a lot to scale and blow through.
It pays off to have some focus.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So what would you say when you started to focus on the fitness industry was the biggest problem that you thought you could solve?
Well, at the time or now that I've learned and I've gotten more involved?
Well, let's start at the time. What triggered you to dive into this industry, other than your experience?
At the time, I felt like they didn't know how to get leads. So everyone was still doing a lot of the old stuff at the time. They were, sponsoring like different places where they could put like lead boxes in, and they would be just posting stuff on social media, like random stuff and contests, and it wouldn't get a lot of traction. And then, once Facebook ads really started elevating, the organic posts really started decreasing as far as how much traction they got. So now their efforts at generating little results before generated even less results later on. And so at the time, I realized that, man, there was a lot of opportunity to help them learn how to generate leads so they can get more members.
Got it. And What would you say is the biggest mistakes that people are continuing to make today? Say people who are not already talking to you.
There are a few of them. The first is the way they just, the way they look at it. And it's not their fault. Social media has been flooded with people that, have been marketing for only a few years, and they're posting content that seems good on the surface, but I believe to be poor advice. So for instance, 20 years ago, people just wanted to be seen. So they'd find a way to get their company seen everywhere, whether it was TV or radio, flyers, sponsoring little league teams, events, you name it, like anything they could do. Technology came in and made it possible to measure deeper levels of your marketing, like website visitors, video views, leads, and even, conversions. And every agency is always wanting to get this edge, right? And you always want a competitive advantage. And so they're always wanting to one up the next guy. So it used to be about, like when technology and internet really came in play, it used to be about driving traffic to the website. I don't know if you remember those days, but it was like, we can get more traffic to your website. We can get traffic to your website. That's all it was, traffic to the website. And then it was, forget the traffic, it's about the leads. But how many are you converting? Who cares how many visitors you're getting if no one's opting in? You need leads. How many leads you're getting? Then it became, it's not about the leads, it's qualified leads. Anybody can just get leads, but can you get leads that are the right people? Okay, now it's not the leads. Now it's, who cares how many leads you're getting? Are they converting into paying members? We want to get you paying members. And it all sounds good, right? Because they're talking about what the fitness studio wants more, right? The less work I have to do, the more I want to buy it. So tomorrow it's not about getting the right members. It's about putting money directly into your account. But the truth is, in today's world, if people that really know how to advertise, the top 5% of the studios we work with, the way we run ours, the leads are a bonus. They're not the goal. The leads are the result of all the activity that you do to get known. Because if people don't know you, they can't opt in, they can't buy from you, they can't do anything. So we heavily focus a lot on the impressions and the quality of the impressions, and making sure that, hey, in 2 years from now, there will be no one in your 5-mile radius that should not know your company name, who you are, what you do, where you do it. Nobody. That's the goal. And because when you have that as the goal, you're inevitably going to get leads. You're not going to just do a campaign like that and not get leads along the way that allows you to get the marketing for free. But what's also going to happen is over time, especially in that second year, third year on, you're going to notice that your organic lead generation is going to be better than anything else that you're running. Walk-ins, people just calling you, people just Googling your company, right? I mean, you got more people Google Starbucks near me than coffee shop near me. Why? Right? It's not because they just want coffee. It's because they want Starbucks coffee, right? And so it's the same thing. We want to get to the point with our studios where we're there with many of them, where they have more organic leads coming in than the paid leads. And that is something that you can scale at a high level, because, now he's just adding fuel to the fire as opposed to constantly recycling, right? Like shoveling the snow while it's still snowing, if you're just doing lead gen campaigns without any real branding along the way.
Is it a case, or your opinion, that lead gen is something that you can do in the short term while you build this broader brand awareness, that's the formula for a fitness business?
Yeah, you should do both.
Yeah.
It's so, we talk about, like in fitness, right? We're all in fitness. So there's things you could do for the short gain, and there's things you could do for the long gain. Right? So let's say you only cared about aesthetics. That's all you cared about. You could give a shit. I'm sorry, can you curse on this podcast?
Yeah. I'll go for it.
Let's say you could care less about your actual health. You just want to do whatever it takes to have a six-pack and veins coming down your arms. That's what you care about. Well, chances are you'll get those short-term results with long-term pain points, right? Vice versa. Let's say you said, you know what? I'm not going to focus on the aesthetic. I'm going to focus on being the absolute healthiest version of me. So I'm going to eat great foods. I'm going to exercise in a great way, the safest, healthiest way possible. What you're going to know is in 2 years from now, 3 years from now, not only do you aesthetically look exactly how you want to look probably, but on top of that, you have a better foundation to keep that there for a long time. The same thing goes with just doing lead gen. Just doing lead gen is like only caring about the aesthetics, the surface level stuff, and really caring about the health of your brand and awareness in your community. That's like taking care of your like actual brand, your body, right? So that's that there's a lot of mistakes that people are making, but I would say overarching, that's the way you look at it. I really wish more people looked at it that way, because then all the other mistakes that they're making, a lot of those wouldn't be done because you're thinking about everything else the right way.
So I suppose whether you're looking at lead generation or whether you're looking at broader brand awareness, there's lots of different strategies somebody coming into this industry, maybe is bombarded with or thinks they have to try out, from Facebook ads to landing pages to making videos to writing great emails. What's your opinion on where they should start, somebody who's relatively new to running a fitness business and marketing a fitness business properly?
If you're starting, you should hire someone. Like, you should hire an agency, or you should go through courses, because it's not like, well, just start with Facebook ads and don't worry about the landing pages, don't worry about the automated emails, don't worry about, just do something. I hear people say that too. That's one of the bad advice that I think a lot of people give, right? Just start with something, do that really well, and then add things as you go. Why would you do that? You know how costly that is? It's way more costly than just hiring an agency to get it all done right away in the first month, right? Like, how much money are you losing by starting like that?
Sure. And
adding as you go? Over the course of a year, how much money are you really losing, as opposed to if you had it all from the first month? So pay for it. If you don't know it, pay for it. If you can't pay for it, then don't sleep for a weekend and learn it, and buy a course. It's gonna be cheaper, or get a membership to like programs like we've got, where it's LRVT. We teach how to do all those things. It's $99 a month. You go in there and you learn how to do it all. I mean, so you've got to get it done. So I wouldn't recommend starting at like one little particular area. I recommend starting with, where do I start to get this all right now?
Okay, so you're saying don't just maybe start a blog and worry about your Facebook ads next month. You're saying paint the picture now. What's the strategy? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So are we talking paid lead gen campaigns, or are we talking like everything on earth, like because blogs, that's a waste of time.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You're saying don't just pick one of these things. Some of them may be waste of time, complete waste of time, but you're saying don't just pick one of these things. You're saying have all these pieces of the jigsaw together and figure out how you're going to get them going right from day one.
Here are all the things you have to have right off the bat in order for you to have a great year and get your money back almost instantly. Like, I'm talking first month. Facebook ads, Instagram ads, YouTube ads, landing pages, automated emails, automated texts, thank you pages that upsell, and then that's it. That's it. You got that down. And then make sure you have, in the Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, make sure you have retargeting campaigns in all three. You have that set up, your marketing's going to be free by month 2. It doesn't matter if you hire an agency to do it. Like, I mean, if you think about it, right? Like, let's say a company hires us for $1,500 a month or $2,000 a month. Let's say $1,500 a month, right? Let's say they hire us. That includes ad spend, fee, all that stuff. If they charge $150 a month for membership, they need 10 members. Once they get 10 members, the marketing's free at that next month. That's it. You're done. So now everything on top of this is butter. If you only get 5 members and your marketing campaign next month only costs $750, in theory, you see what I mean? Because the marketing paid. I always say, like, look, if you're, and that's a great topic too. Our best studios that we work with, they don't keep a static ad budget. It doesn't make sense. So let's say you go, okay, right now I can part with $2,000 a month. That's what I can part with. Anything outside of that, Mike, I'm already uncomfortable at $2,000. Anything outside of that, I can't do. Okay, no problem. $2,000. Great. So how much you charge per member? $200. Great. Awesome. Next month, let's say they get 10 members. Hey, you got that back. Do you want to make it $4,000 now or $3,000? Because you were uncomfortable with $2,000 before you had these 10 members giving you $2,000 a month. So you got to be more comfortable now. So why are you going to keep it the same if you have more money? Add to it, because now in the third month, instead of getting 10 members, you get 15 or 20. And then in the next month, you get 15, 20, 25. And the next month, you get 30. And it keeps going up because you're raising your ad budget in ratio to the revenue that it's generating for you, as opposed to keeping it the same and expecting better. Keep it the same, expect the same. But if you get better, make it better. And then just keep that going up and keep pulling your results up with your marketing.
And tell me, for people you talk to, does it finish with marketing, or where does sales kick in? How much effort should somebody who's starting a business need to, I suppose, number one, learn how to do it, and number two, how much effort do they need to put into following up on these leads, running a sales process? How important is that?
As it is the most important thing. It's like saying, how important is it for a quarterback to have a wide receiver? It's extremely important. Because what's going to happen if the quarterback throws the ball and there's not a wide receiver there to catch it? What's going to happen to the ball?
Well, there's no point in throwing it. Might as well run it yourself.
Yeah, it just drops.
Yeah.
The ball hits the ground and it never makes it into the end zone. So you need a wide receiver. Not only do you need a wide receiver, I don't care how good your marketing is, your sales have to equal your marketing. If you have great marketing, you need great sales. Tom Brady is a great quarterback. Would you agree?
I would agree.
Do you think he's throwing to eighth graders, or is he throwing to professional wide receivers?
He's not messing around.
Right. It doesn't matter how good Tom Brady is. You can't say, well, if your quarterback's really good, it doesn't matter who the catcher, the wide receiver is. I mean, he'll put it right in his hands. No, you want the best receivers. So with that said, that's great. You got great marketing. But man, if you got 100 leads in, what's the difference of having salespeople that can close 2 to 5 of them versus salespeople that can close 15 to 20? You know what I mean? I mean, think about that result. And you've got to go through sales training every day. Like we do sales, we just did it. That's what we did right before our meeting. We do sales training every morning before we start work. Every single morning. We role play. We've got to know stuff like the back of our hands. Otherwise we shouldn't even be on the phone. I could tell you different stories, but I mean, like there's fitness studios I've gone to that we work with, and there's people that do it really well, and there's people that don't do it really well, and it never fails, ever. The people that do it very well have great results, regardless of the leads. The people that don't do it very well get poor results, regardless of the leads. Sales is very important. So what they're doing wrong is they get a pitch, they get a system maybe of how, some don't even do that, but some people will get a system, they'll be like, okay, this is how we do it, this is how we say it, and they never role play it. So what happens is they have a general idea of what they say, but they don't say it every time the same way. And when you don't say it every time the same way, you're not going to get the same results. How you say something is just as much, if not more important than what you say. There's a difference between saying, hey, you know what, John, I'm going to try to get that done by this weekend. And John, I will get that done by this weekend. Do you feel a difference?
Mm-hmm.
I said the same thing. The only difference is one had I'll try, one had I will. And so that delivers a different level of certainty. So you may have people out there that feel like they're following the script. They think they're following the script, but those little subtleties, those little words are losing sales for them. Sometimes in the beginning of the sale, and then they waste 20, 30 minutes, not closing. So if you don't know your pitch and how you handle certain objections, like the ABCs, then you're not
in the races.
No, and then you need to role play that more.
How long did it take for some of your customers to get this right? How much time before you walk in the door have they got, say, 2 or 3 people who have this nailed?
Yeah, I mean, I've got about probably 20 or 30 customers that have this right, and I have probably around 1,300 that don't. They come up with reasons. They come up with stories as to why they can't do it, or they'll get there, they don't role play, they don't value. The problem is you're not going to get the best of whatever you don't value. Do you play any instruments?
I do, yeah.
What do you play?
I play the guitar.
Nice. I play the guitar too. I just started playing piano.
Nice.
So how long have you been playing the guitar?
20 years.
20 years. Okay. So you're at the point where you understand the guitar, right? Like you can probably just sit there and play it while watching TV, and actually whatever you're playing sounds pretty good, right? And you're not even playing real songs. You're just kind of playing stuff. Yeah. Right? Okay. Now, have you ever learned, even recently, have you learned a song that was pretty complex? Maybe a song by like Queen or somebody that's like, they don't have like typical chords. It's like complex.
Yeah. In the past, yeah.
Where your memory has to kick in, right?
Sure.
So here's what happens. You play that song and you kind of have to get pieces of it. So you get the first piece of it.
Yeah.
Then you practice the second piece. Then you practice the first piece and the second piece. Then you do the third piece and you practice the first piece, second piece, third piece. And you keep going until eventually you play the entire song perfectly. And then you keep practicing until you can play the song without looking, right? Now, if you play that song again tomorrow, you'll be able to pick up where you left off. If you do it the next day, same thing, right? What if you don't practice that song for 3 months?
Yeah, sure, it's gone.
What if you don't practice it for 1 month?
It's probably gone.
Okay, so if you want to be able to play the song perfectly every time you need to play it, what's the best practice? What's the best way to practice?
Every day.
Even if you just play the song once every day.
Sure.
Right? You don't have to play it for an hour, right? You could just play that song one time all the way through every day. Would you agree you'd keep that song ready every day?
I think you'd be good, yeah.
That's it. Just practice your pitch once a day before you start with your team and have them call you out if you mess up to start it over. 15 minutes. You don't need a lot.
Let's say we've got that nailed. Let's say we've got our marketing up and running, proper systems, landing pages, paid ads. We're compounding it every month, spending more money. The obvious problem now is the retention and the leaky bucket. What sort of mistakes are people making where maybe they nail the sales and marketing but are not sticking around, so they just can't make their business work? What causes that?
Well, a lot of people forget that they have to continue selling to their customers. And they think that once you make the sale, now it's time to service. It's time to do both. You've got to continue to sell to your customers. Apple has me, not because they sold me the iPhone, which was the first product I bought. they have me because I also have the iPad, the MacBook, the pencil, the watch, the TV, right? And so now, you know how committed I am at this point. I can't like get away from it now. I'm so in. Tesla did the same thing. I got the Tesla, but then they sent me this cool kit. Then they sent me a shirt, and then they had me like refer people if I referred. Then they sent me like this car for my kids, like a little like a Power Wheel car or whatever. And like I've got all this now, and they keep like selling me stuff, and I keep buying it. And so people want to buy from the brands that they really like, right? Most people don't have one pair of Nike something. We have several Nike somethings, right? So you want to continue buying from the brands that you really like. And it's almost exciting when they come out with something new. But sometimes I think people feel like they're greedy. Business owners or salespeople feel like, and this is just more uneducated ones, they feel greedy by selling something to somebody they've already sold something to. Like, because what did our parents teach us? Hey, that's good enough. You already got it. Don't be selfish. Don't ask for more. You give them an inch, they want a mile. It's like you hear all this stuff growing up, and it's, why is that wrong? If I asked for a piece of pizza, my mom said, yeah, why am I selfish for asking for another piece? If I want another piece, I should ask. Yesterday, my daughter, she did something that, and my mom was there, and my mom stopped her, right? She asked me if she could have chips from the vending machine. We were at basketball practice. Her practice just finished. She asked if she could have chips from the vending machine. I said, no chips. She's like, okay. Then she walked over to the vending machine guy who just happened to show up, and he opened the vending machine to restock it. And as he was restocking it, she goes, hey, are you giving away free chips? And he's like, no, I'm not. And my mother goes, Gianna, don't ask that. Stop it. That's very rude. That's selfish. I was like, oh, hold on, Mom. Why is that rude? She had to ask. Good, she asked. The guy didn't get insulted. He just said no. He laughed. Let her ask. What if he gave her free chips? She's like, well, that's me. Then he does it out of guilt. No, he could say no, And so for me, I like the idea of asking. In fact, a great book called Ultimate Sales Machine, and stats are showing that 1 out of 3 people will buy something at a point of sale just if you ask. 1 out of 5 people will ask something at a point of service just if you ask. Meaning, when you go to McDonald's and you buy a burger, what does the cashier say? Would you like fries with that?
Sure.
Now, they say supersizes if you order a meal.
Yeah.
See, they have systems, right? If you say, can I have the number 2? They'll ask, would you want to supersize it because it comes with fries. But if you ask, can I have a Big Mac? They'll say, would you like fries with that? And then when you say, yeah, then they'll ask you if you wanted to do just a meal and supersize that. See, McDonald's, what they did was they changed, like them or hate them, they changed the game, and now they literally have a sales system. It was taking 30 minutes or longer to make burgers. You know what I mean? It was taking a long time to make burgers. Now they were getting it done quickly. So everything they do is system. The point I'm making is, if at the point of sale, you were to just ask, hey, is there any way, or did you guys want to add some supplements to that? Hey, did you guys want to add anything to, did you guys want to add any clothes, any socks? Did you guys want to meet with a consult? Did you guys want to check out some of the new programs we have running here? Just by asking, 2 out of 3 people are going to say, no, I'm good. 1 out of 3 people are going to say, yeah. At the point of service, hey, Mike, how's it going? Yeah. Hey, look, I just wanted to talk to you really quick. Yes. I saw that, I've noticed that you in class, you've been doing really, really well. You've been working really hard. How are you feeling? I'm feeling really good. Yeah. I mean, you're sweating right now, man. I know. So look, I only wanted to bring you aside because I see you're working real hard. I know you're working real hard to get there. How's your nutrition going? How are you eating? I'm eating pretty good. Well, what's your biggest challenge with not eating? Sometimes it's hard to get in the meals, with work and rushing around. So I kind of sometimes have to deal with fast food. It's kind of like, okay, look, you don't have to deal with fast food. You're dealing with it because that's your alternative. That's what's supplementing your daily routine right now. But you can supplement it with supplements. Come over here real quick. Let me show you what we got here. So this right here is a protein shake. You can just keep the powder in your cup, in your shaker. When you're ready to add water, just add water, shake the thing up, and drink it. That's going to be way better than any meal you get, and it gives you all the things that you need. Really? Yes. And here's some bars. Also, before you come and work out, this is a really good pre-workout. I definitely recommend doing this because obviously you're putting in the work right now, but I want you to maximize it so that every time you're here, you're getting more out of what you could have gotten. Does that make sense? Yes. Okay. And then for recovery, how do you feel like afterwards? Are you feeling pretty beat or are you feeling good? Yeah, I feel kind of beat. Okay, so this right here will help you recover a little faster. Here, go and give it to him. Let him hold it. Okay, what do you think? Out of all these here, do you want to put this together for you? I mean, this is going to help you out. How much is it going to cost? It's going to cost $280, man, but you're probably going to spend that in food. So now here's the thing: 1 out of 5 people will say yeah to that deal. 4 out of 5 will say no, or maybe just take one of the things. But If you have 500 members, you got 100 more sales at least. But the more committed you are, a lot of people don't realize this, but the number one reason that people quit a fitness membership is because you're not getting results. And supplements, even though some people believe it's more placebic than anything else, who cares if it's placebic? Placebic meaning what? This guy thinks he can work out harder now because he drank it? Great. If that's what makes him work out harder, let him work out harder, because if he does work out harder, what's probably going to happen? It's going to get better results.
Yeah, he's going to succeed.
Right. So people that sell supplements have higher retention. That's not my opinion. That's a stat. That's a fact. People that sell supplements regularly to their members have a dramatically higher retention than those that don't, because they're committed. They're drinking more stuff. They're eating more stuff. They're working out better. They're working out harder. Everything's better. It's harder to go. It's easier to stay with your diet when you're supplementing.
Got it. Okay. So I think what you're saying overall, the key to whether it's whether you call it expanding revenue, whether you call it retaining people, is really to keep on selling and not see that as a dirty word and not be ashamed of that.
Yeah, and don't sell something you don't believe in,
sure.
And don't sell something that somebody doesn't need, right? Like in the example I gave you, that guy was struggling with something, so I found a solution for him to not go off and eat McDonald's on his way to the workout, right? So you're wanting to sell to solve a problem, that like you did with your membership. Your membership solves a problem. Anything else you sell should be to solve a problem, but for a cost.
Yeah. But so if someone comes to you and they say that they're selling lots of maybe 6-week trials or 6-week packs and not selling many annual memberships, your answer is probably going to be, well, are you trying to sell them to these people? Are you talking? Are you having the conversation? Are you pointing out the benefits?
Yeah. Are you selling them where they really want to go? And also, there's a lot of things with retention, right? Even just remembering people's birthday and remembering anniversaries and doing something special for them, knowing their names when they walk in the door, because it's easier to sell somebody when they know their name. It's harder to sell somebody when you go, hey, what's your name again? John. Hey, John, really quick, I saw you worked out really hard today. That's stupid. You want to be like, hey, John, every time he walks in, John, what's up? Where's Lisa today? She couldn't make it. Oh, man. And then, hey, John, I wanted to talk to you about something. Now when you talk to him about it, it goes a longer way. So yeah, you want to sell to people, but at the same time, you want to give that experience where I belong here. I'm part of a family, and it's easier to get your family to buy into the things that you believe in than it is a stranger.
Yeah, but I'm guessing it takes as much training for your staff to be able to do these type of things as it does to be able to deliver a sales pitch.
All of it takes training, for sure. It takes training, but the cool thing about customer service, if you just train your people on one thing, they're going to do a lot of things at least mostly right, and that's just truly care. Just truly care about their customers, care about what their goals are. You'll look at them differently. You'll talk to them differently. You'll learn about their stories. And then strategically, when to bring up supplements and all that stuff could be trained as well. But you'll get a lot further, at least generally, if you just truly care.
A couple of final questions. You're obviously been in the fitness industry for a while now. The whole area of boutique fitness and group-based fitness is really the flavor of the month. What changes are you seeing right now in the industry, and where do you think it's going?
Changes that I see are big box gyms are wanting to create a fitness studio experience within their fitness studios. So now you're noticing big box gyms are creating Cycle Bar or Soul Cycle quality spin studios inside of their locations. Whereas LA Fitness, I remember it was just the aerobic room, and then they rolled the bikes out, and it was in a very lit room, and it was boring. Now they really have legit spin studios. They have great yoga studios. It used to be just yoga mats in a lit up room. Now it's really dark and candles, and so for $24 a month, you can get a membership, or $30 a month, you can get a membership at these places. And I mean, generally, they're giving more options: free weight room, locker room, more parking spaces. You have more options. You could go to yoga, you go to spin, you could do TRX. You have different instructors. I mean, you got so many. You got smoothie bars. Why would anybody pay $150 a month? The reason they would is because when I go into my big box gym, I don't have that feeling that we were talking about, that family feeling of belonging, that accountability. And so no one's texting me asking me why I didn't make it in today. No one's calling me telling me, hey, man, happy birthday. Just want to let you know. No one's singing to me happy birthday while I'm doing bench press in that room. There's a lot of things that are missing on the connection level. And the reason most people don't work out is not because they don't have a gym that offers everything they need to work out. Those exist for $19 a month. The reason most people don't stick with working out is because they don't have that accountability. They don't have that thing that motivates them to keep going. So what's going to make your studio stand out, that's much smaller, offers much less, worse parking, all that stuff, is that one factor of, I'm not letting you off the hook. This was your goal, and I'm going to get you there. It's my commitment to you. And that's the difference.
And do you think all the studios out there are doing that well, or?
No, and a lot of them are going to go out of business if they don't. So you're going to have to. So that's when you said, like, what changes do you see happening? That's the big change. Everyone's going to have to get on board with that, because the big box gyms will swallow them alive if they offer big box gym quality service without every other amenity that a big box gym offers with their low fee that's about a tenth of the cost.
So, well, Mike, we're nearly out of time, but I definitely want to hear a little bit about your conference, the GSD Con. So maybe just tell me a little bit about that, when it's on and who it's for.
GSD Con is, man, I'm so excited about it. It's the number one fitness studio conference on earth, man. And I'm not just saying that. I mean, we've got the same team from Comic-Con that does the AV for Comic-Con come in and lighten up the whole stage with fog. And then we've got, like I said, 1,400 studios we work with. We got the best ones coming up on stage talking about what they do, how they do it. We've got really, really great speakers in the entrepreneur world that are coming down and talking about how they do what they do. We're going to be sharing exactly how the top studios are generating leads and closing leads at the rate that they're doing it. You're going to be shoulder to shoulder hanging out with people that are in the same situation as you if you go, right? Which is, I invest money and time to leave my work for 2 days to learn how to be a more successful fitness studio owner. So if you want to be the average of the people you surround yourself with the most, you want to be with those people. You want to be around the people that literally can take 2 days away, and here's the thing. Everyone can do it. Some people listening, I can. Who's going to teach classes? Look, what if you were bedridden? What if you couldn't make it in? What if you were throwing up and you had every disgusting disease right now because you couldn't make it into work and you had to lay in bed for the next 2 days? What would you close down shop? Would it be over? Would business be over? If the answer is no, then you got to do things like this and find ways to surround yourself around these people and learn from these people and go back and deliver more to your team. Otherwise, yeah, you were there for 2 days. That's great. But all you got out of it was you were there for 2 days. On the third day, you're exactly the same as you were. So GSD Con's this awesome conference that we just feel like didn't exist in the industry, like fitness studio space didn't exist. And we're creating this so that people can go back home with some amazing, amazing ideas, step-by-step strategies that by the time they get back to their studio, they're already making more money.
Okay, I got it. And tell me one last thing. How do people find you? How do people get in touch?
You go to LoudRumor.com. You can also, our podcast, I love yours. I love your format. You're a really good interview, dude. So I like your stuff. We have GSD Show. So if you go to the GSD.com, you can check that out. And I listen to like 16 podcasts. So everyone listening to yours, to get the most out of it, could be learning once a day. They should have at least 7 podcasts. So yours is one of them. And then hopefully you guys like the GSD Show as well. And you can find me there.
Well, listen, Mike, it was really a pleasure to talk to you. I definitely learned a lot. I really enjoyed the conversation. So thank you very much. Thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me.